Hello, hello. This is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers, and welcome to Greater Wealth Through Mastery. This is probably not your first video, but perhaps it is. And there is a very interesting phrase we're going to spend just a little bit of time on. It is once upon a time. Why are these mystical, magical words to the human mind? Why is that once upon a time? The reason is very straightforward. Once upon a time is the beginning of the metaphor, the beginning of the idea that something greater is coming. Now, what is coming that is greater and exciting and enticing? What is coming next is exactly what everyone desires. Once upon a time is the beginning of a story. That is the key. And what you'll find is when people declare things or they just state them, or of course, when they shout them, when they do that, it is a one way conversation. It is one way energy. It might shock you into action. It might get you on the right path. That is entirely possible. But when you hear once upon a time, just as one example of many, it's a wonderful phrase because it does tap into stories. And stories are what we hang our hat on. It's really where we connect with our own lives. Once upon a time is a way for us to reflect on the adventures of other people. So if you see that or hear that phrase, once upon a time, you are immediately keyed up. You're aware, you're oriented almost immediately, like bam, there it is. And you're zeroed in, you're focused in, and you have an expectation of a story where perhaps you are embedded in that story or part of the story. You become the hero of the story, perhaps. You can also relate to the story because it's so easy to think about the journey because a story always has a beginning, middle, and of course, end. And what that means is that you can play along at home. You can play mental bingo and go dunk, 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 right down on the bingo card and say, yes, it resonates with me. And the more times that you are connecting with the story, the more that you give energy to the story and that the story gives to you in terms of energy. This is profound when you think about it. Now, that phrase, once upon a time, need not be invoked or directly utilized. It doesn't have to be, and that is the key. It does not have to be used directly. What matters is that you can say something like to other people, hey, let me tell you a story. You got time for a quick story? Hey, let me tell you something. So you can use lots of different phrases that lead people down that garden path of the story. And as soon as you create a story framework, it's like magic happens in the truest sense because people suspend their disbelief and you can go wild and crazy. You can tell jokes. You can take on a different persona. You can play act. You can smile. You can be angry. You can, do just amazing, crazy things because it's in the presence of the story. It's by way of the story. And we all want to know how the story ends. We all want to be part of the story. Stories drive humanity. They drive our feelings. They drive our thinking. They overcome objections. They help you with your copywriting. They help you in the naming of products. They help you grow your network. Once upon a time couldn't be more powerful, and the root of the power, the real generator, right, the real energy that comes from the story is that you are part of it and we understand that framework. Others are part of the framework, you're part of the framework, and therefore everyone wins because it's such a simple mental model that we all understand and we can all follow. So, how are you going to use this story framework and how are you going to use it for yourself to tell yourself better stories about who you are? That's the bonus tip there is that you can recreate and modify and adjust and reimagine your own personal story. So you can take yourself to new heights by radically improving over time your own self language, right? You're talking to yourself all the time, you know it. Instead of negative language, make it positive and put it in the form of your life's story. This is very powerful. It is the bonus tip of bonus tips. And I would love for you to like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to this video. If you love this kind of training and you want to know more about money manifestation, about telling your own story, about creating value out of thin air, and then applying that to your life in exactly the right way, maybe as a side hustle, maybe as a brand new business, this is profound. And I know you can do it. I believe in you. The Rhodes Brothers believe in you. Down in the comments below, tell me what resonated with you. What actually worked here? What's the number one thing that was the aha moment? Drop it in. We take a look and it matters to us. This is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers, and on behalf of my brother Matt and I, we just love you to death. Thank you for being here, and we will definitely see you in that next video, which you should see on the screen right now. If not, you can find it on our channel. That being said, thank you and take care. See you in the next video.